because people really wanted to come to a land of freedom where you can exercise your conscience and keep the fruits of your labor, as we saw in great controversy last night. But here you have the Constitution, the miracle at Philadelphia, because God's working providence and miracles for a reason, so that we can have a land of freedom to develop the Church of God, the truth of God, go global with the mission work, and so on. But even these somewhat secular founding fathers, they had their religious mindset about providence and stuff, but most of them were not in the same sense, fundamental Bible-believing Christians as we are. But even they recognized, listen to George Washington about the Constitution of 1787. He said, "It appears to me then little short of a miracle that the delegates from so many different states, which states are also different from each other in their manners, circumstances, and prejudices, that these states would unite in forming a system of national government so little liable to well-founded objections." So in other words, almost all the states ratified the Constitution because voted to ratify the Constitution. There's very little objections to it. We came up with all these compromises. I used to teach in my history classes the Great Compromise and Three-Fifths Compromise and all these different compromises that they came up with to form a more perfect union. And I find that to just be quite remarkable that George Washington said this was a miracle, that we were able to get along and that we were able to put a country together. James Madison said something very similar. He's called the father of the United States Constitution. He was even more amazed. He said, "The real wonder is that so many difficulties should have been surmounted, and surmounted with unanimity, almost as unprecedented as it must have been unexpected. It is impossible for any man of candor to reflect on this circumstance without partaking of the astonishment. It is impossible for the man of pious reflection not to perceive in it a finger of that almighty hand which has been so frequently and signally extended to our relief in the critical stages of our revolution." Are you wondering in astonishment at the finger and the hand of God in history?